Two neighbors, same street, same job, same $75,000 salary. One drives a brand new $48,000 SUV, the other drives a 7-year-old Toyota. 10 years later, the guy with the nice car has $12,000 in savings and $35,000 in debt. The guy with the old Toyota has $420,000 in investments and owns his home outright. Same income, same neighborhood, one decision, two completely different lives. And that decision wasn't about being smart or lucky. It was about understanding something that dealerships and car commercials will never tell you. The car you drive might be the single biggest obstacle between you and actual wealth. And today I'm going to show you exactly how that works. Let me tell you about James and Marcus, both 28 years old. Both software engineers making $75,000 a year in Austin, Texas. They started their careers the same month, at the same company, in the same apartment complex. The only real difference? The car they chose. James walked into a dealership and signed a loan for a brand new $45,000 car. $738 a month for 68 months. It felt amazing. New car smell. The latest technology. Heads turned when he pulled up. For the first time in his life, James felt successful. Marcus bought a $15,000 used Toyota Camry with cash he'd saved up. 5 years old. Ran perfectly. Nobody looked twice at it. And that's exactly what he wanted. At first, James felt like he made the right choice. His car had heated seats, a premium sound system, adaptive cruise control. He loved showing it off. Meanwhile, Marcus drove his boring Camry and never thought about it twice. But here's where the story gets interesting. James's $738 monthly payment wasn't the only cost. His insurance was $250 a month because new cars cost more to insure and he financed it. His maintenance costs were higher because everything on a new luxury car cost more to fix. Premium fuel, expensive tires, dealer-only service, and the car lost 20% of its value the second he drove it off the lot. In 1 year, his $45,000 car was worth $36,000. He didn't just lose $9,000. He vaporized it. Marcus, meanwhile, was putting $738 a month into a simple index fund. Not because he was a genius, not because he had some secret investment strategy. He just automated it, set it and forgot it. 10% average annual return. Nothing fancy. 5 years passed. James still had 3 years left on his car payment. His car was now worth $18,000. He'd paid $53,000 including interest for something worth $18,000. He lost $35,000. Marcus, his investments had grown to $68,000. His car was worth $8,000. Total net position $76,000. The difference? $58,000 from one decision, the car. Now, let me explain the thing that destroys wealth faster than almost anything else. Depreciation. And this is where car salespeople will smile and nod and never explain what's actually happening to your money. New cars lose about 20% of their value in the first year of ownership. 20%. Gone. Instantly. After 5 years, that new car has lost about 60% of its original value. Let's use real numbers. You buy a $50,000 car today. In 1 year, it's worth $40,000. After 5 years, it's worth about $20,000. You just lit $30,000 on fire, not through bad luck, not through an accident, through normal use. And here's the psychological trap. You don't feel it. It's not like someone reached into your account and took $30,000. The money just disappears silently over time while you're driving to work. Meanwhile, that same $50,000 invested in a simple stock market index fund, average return of 10% annually over the long term. In 5 years, that's $80,000. In 10 years, that's $130,000. In 20 years, over $336,000. The car you bought for $50,000, after 20 years, it's worth maybe $5,000 if you're lucky. And most people don't keep cars 20 years, they trade up. So they take the loss, then start the cycle again with another depreciating asset. This is how people make 6 figures and still die broke. Let me break down the total cost of ownership because the monthly payment is just the beginning. The real cost is invisible until you add it all up. According to research, here's what owning a $50,000 luxury car costs over 10 years compared to owning a $15,000 Toyota Camry. Insurance. New cars are significantly more expensive to insure. The luxury car? $30,000 over 10 years. The Camry? $13,000. Maintenance. Luxury cars use premium parts and dealer service. $12,000 over 10 years. The Camry? $5,000. Tires. High-performance tires on luxury vehicles cost more and wear faster, 3,000 over 10 years. The Camry, 1,500. Repairs. As cars age, things break. Luxury parts are expensive, 8,000 over 10 years. The Camry, 3,000. Added up, the luxury car costs 53,000 beyond the purchase price. The Camry, 22,500. That's a $30,500 difference. And we haven't even counted the opportunity cost of the money you could have invested instead of paying $738 a month for 6 years. If you invested that payment at 10% returns for those 6 years, you'd have $68,000. Meanwhile, your car is worth $18,000. The person who bought the Camry, they invested the difference and have $76,000. The gap, $58,000 from one decision made at 28 years old. Here's the part that breaks people's brains. The guy driving the brand new luxury car looks successful. The guy driving the old Camry looks average. But the reality is completely backwards. The luxury car driver is broke. Payments, high insurance, constant worry about scratches and dents, stressed about the next repair bill. The Camry driver has $76,000 in investments, no payments, low insurance, doesn't care about parking lot dings, sleeps well. This is the invisible wealth gap that nobody talks about, because we live in a world where success is performed, not built. You're supposed to signal that you're doing well by buying expensive visible things, nice car, designer clothes, big house, luxury watch. But here's what the truly wealthy understand. Visible wealth and actual wealth are often inversely correlated. The more someone needs to show they're rich, the less money they actually have. Real wealth is invisible. It's sitting in investment accounts. It's equity and property. It's cash flow from businesses. It's not a depreciating hunk of metal parked in your driveway losing value every day. Surveys show that most millionaires drive cars that are 3 to 5 years old. Not new, not flashy, just reliable and paid for. They drive Hondas, Toyotas, Mazdas, boring cars that don't impress anyone, because they're not trying to impress anyone. They're trying to build wealth. Now let me show you the compounding effect over a lifetime, because this is where the numbers get truly insane. James keeps upgrading his car every 6 years, gets a new loan each time, always has a payment. Marcus keeps his Camry for 10 years, then buys another used car for cash, never has a payment after the first one. Over 40 years, here's what happens. James pays car payments his entire life, $738 a month, 40 years. That's $354,240 in payments alone, not counting interest, not counting insurance differences, not counting higher maintenance, just payments. And at the end of 40 years, he has a car worth maybe $20,000. Marcus invests $738 a month for 40 years at 10% average annual return. At the end of 40 years, he has $4.7 million. $4.7 million. From one decision, the same monthly amount. One person gave it to a bank for depreciating cars. The other invested it for compounding growth. Same discipline, same monthly commitment, completely different outcome. And this is why wealthy people don't buy new cars, not because they can't afford them, because they understand opportunity cost. Every dollar you spend on a rapidly depreciating asset is a dollar that can't compound for 40 years into exponential wealth. They're not cheap. They're strategic. Let me explain the psychological trap that keeps people buying cars they can't afford. It's called the spotlight effect. You overestimate how much other people notice and care about what you drive. You think everyone's watching. You think your car defines you. You think people will respect you more if you drive something nice. But here's the reality. Nobody cares. The person in the next lane at the stoplight, they forgot about your car 3 seconds later. Your coworkers, they noticed it the first day and never thought about it again. The people you're trying to impress, they're too busy worrying about their own image to care about yours. And here's the ironic part. Research shows that people who display expensive possessions are often perceived as less trustworthy and less competent, not more. Because everyone knows that someone driving a car they can't afford is trying too hard. The truly confident, truly successful people, they don't need to prove anything. They drive whatever gets them from point A to point B reliably, and they sleep on piles of money that compound while everyone else is making payments. So how do wealthy people actually buy cars? Because they do buy cars, they're just strategic about it. Here's the framework. First, they follow the 10% rule. Your car should cost no more than 10% of your net worth, not income. Net worth. If your net worth is $200,000, your car budget is $20,000 max. Most wealthy people keep it even lower, 3 to 5% of net worth, because they know cars are wealth destroyers. Second, they buy used cars that are 3 to 5 years old. These cars have already taken the massive depreciation hit, but still have modern features and reliability. You're buying at real value, not inflated new car pricing. Third, they keep cars for 10 years minimum. The longer you keep a car, the lower your annual cost of ownership. Driving a paid-off car for 5 extra years is like giving yourself a $700 monthly raise. Fourth, they pay cash when possible. No interest, no payments, full ownership. And if they do finance, they only do it if the interest rate is extremely low and they can invest the cash difference at a higher return. Fifth, they choose brands known for reliability and low cost of ownership. Honda, Toyota, Mazda, Lexus, Kia, Hyundai. These brands run forever with minimal maintenance. Luxury European brands, beautiful, expensive to maintain, terrible long-term value. And finally, they completely detach their self-worth from what they drive. The car is a tool, nothing more. It gets you to work. It doesn't define you. It doesn't make you successful. Your bank account does. Let me give you the exact strategy to break free from car payment prison starting today. If you currently have a car payment, here's what you do. Keep driving your current car until it's paid off. No trades, no upgrades. Suffer through it. Once it's paid off, keep driving it. But here's the key. Take that $738 payment you were making and automatically invest it every single month into a low-cost index fund. Don't think about it. Don't touch it. Let it compound. Drive your paid-off car for 5 more years while investing the payment. At 10% returns, you'll have $56,000 in investments. Your car might be worth $8,000. Total, $64,000. Meanwhile, someone who traded up to a new car has $30,000 in debt and a car worth $18,000. Net position, negative $12,000. The difference between you and them? $76,000 from one decision, 5 years. And here's what happens next. You take $20,000 of that $56,000 you saved and buy a 3-year-old reliable car with cash. No payments, no interest, no stress. You keep investing the $738 monthly. Do this for 10 years and you have $156,000 in investments, a reliable car worth $15,000 and 0 debt. Your neighbor who kept upgrading, still making payments, still broke, still stressed, still performing success while building nothing. Here's the final truth that most people will never accept. The car you drive is the biggest test of whether you understand delayed gratification. It's the difference between looking rich and being rich. And most people choose to look rich. They want the validation. They want people to think they're successful. They want to feel like they've made it. So they sign the loan, take the payment, drive the car, feel good for 6 months. Then the novelty wears off. The payment stays. The insurance stays. The depreciation happens silently. And 5 years later, they're exactly where they started. Still broke, still stressed, still one emergency away from financial disaster. The alternative isn't sexy. It's driving a boring car that nobody notices. It's having money in the bank instead of a nice car in the driveway. It's building wealth quietly while everyone else performs success loudly. But here's what happens when you choose the alternative. You sleep better. You have options. You're not trapped by payments. You're not stressed by repairs. You're not worried about scratches. And 10 years from now, when everyone else is still making car payments, you're financially free. You have investments that compound. You have security. You have wealth. Not the performance of wealth, actual wealth. That's the choice. The car you think you need today versus the financial freedom you actually want 10 years from now. Most people choose the car, and that's why most people never build wealth. Not because they don't earn enough, but because they spend it on depreciating assets that look good but destroy their financial future. The question is, which person are you going to be? The one who looks successful or the one who actually is? If this changed how you think about cars and wealth, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the goal isn't to never enjoy anything. The goal is to make strategic decisions that build wealth instead of destroying it. See you in the next one.